Righty heighty, time to have a good look at the beauty that is. Now, one thing I will say is the early part of this video we are just going to be looking at the card itself. Later on there will be some strictly adult content, so be warned. Anyway, what we need to do, let's have a look at the actual card itself. Now, NVIDIA have gone no expense spared. The grey that you can see on this is actually metal, and obviously you can see a lot of screws and stuff in this. They're really not, you know, messed about with it. The black bit around the outside is metal as well. It looks like plastic, but it's not, and it's just so kind of like bomb-proof, well put together. I love the look of this thing. Obviously we can see the window here, which if I bring it up for you to have a look at, you can see all the fins inside. It's very, very GTX 690-esque. Now, as well, I'll show you later on in the video, this part actually lights up. It lights up bright green. It's another kind of, I think the 690 did it, I don't think the 680 did, but it's a real nice kind of high-end kind of, you know, nice glow to it. As we can see, 6-pin and an 8-pin. As I will show you later on, we've already, NVIDIA have already hinted that they've, the vendors, like the AIOs or whatever you want to call them, AIOs, where did that come from? The vendors are going to be able to do their own PCBs if they want, but I think, looking, and I'll show you this in a bit more, you know, detail in a minute, they've already kind of put things in place for there to be like some real mega overclocking cards from the vendors in the future. Because if you look at the PCB on the back, up here, look, you can see this is the 6-pin connector, this is the 8-pin connector, they're soldered in. But if you look here, we've also got another one. Now this isn't in there, but you can see the clips all in place. So essentially a vendor could put another 8-pin around the back. Now obviously the 6-pin and the 8-pin are there. They say it uses 250 watts out the box, but the overclocking is always going to be limited by these two, or could be limited by these two connectors. By having another 8-pin on there, you could end up getting so much more power. Now, like I said, this is as we are seeing the card now. I'm just hinting to you about stuff that you may see later. Might be wrong, but anyway, that's just something that I'm thinking about there. So you can see RAM chips on the back. Now we've got 6 GB of memory in total, so they've all got to go somewhere. Now looking at them carefully, there's Samsung memory chips as well, which is always a good sign. It's DDR5 as well, GDDR5. So we've got the lovely Titan logo. I know everyone's going to have seen this by now, but you can see the Titan logo at the front there. It looks lush. And at the back there's also a set of fins. I'm trying to get this because it's difficult for me to see with the lights in my eyes. There are fins at the back. Now as far as I'm aware, the it doesn't seem to blow too much air out of the back here, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think it sucks in through this side and in the top and then blows out the back, because I've definitely not had much air fill coming out of here at all. Looking at it again, we can see that there are 2 SLI connectors on it, and they say up to triple SLI, but they only say up to triple SLI with the 680 as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some benchmarkers running 4 of these at a later date. The only thing that I think, considering the price of this card, that it's missing is a back plate, and for no other reason than maybe for a little bit of extra cooling for the RAM that is on the back of the card. And I think if they had have gone down that route, it would have tidied the look of the card up, made it look a little bit more premium considering that the price that they're asking for this. But like I said, also the main reason for me would have been RAM cooling. I'm assuming that it doesn't need cooling that much though, but you know, never mind. I must admit, throughout testing, because I've done all of the rest of the video already, literally all we're doing now is having a look at this, and then we're going to take it apart. Much to Gamewood's dismay, I'm going to get my nuts completely and utterly chewed off for doing this. But anyway, as you can see, we've still got the do not take off little badge here. But we are doing nerd porn. Now, tools wise, I have a nice set of screwdrivers. I think everyone, if you're going to be taking stuff apart, should have these. But I've also got a handy flathead. This one's also pretty good. As you can see, it's got bloody paint on it. This is actually the metallic red paint from the radiators on Hellfire. That's how long I've had that screwdriver. I've also got another Phillips screwdriver, just in case I need to get a little bit more traction. People always ask me about thermal paste with GPUs. I normally end up using Noctua NTH1 or Arctic MX4. As you can see, I get these massive ones because I get through so much thermal paste. But you can use either of those. It's non-conductive. That's the most important thing with a graphics card. Bit of tin cleaner for removing the last of the paste. And I always end up doing it with a kitchen roll, or if you're a dirty bastard, fat paper. And I said fat, not fat. Right, so first things first, we're going to remove this sticker, which basically says, do not remove this sticker. Sorry, Gamewood. Anyway, I can't get it, so I'll try and get it this way. Right, so that's that. We're going to loosen that off. Loosen that off. Now, I'm not going to remove this bit all the way to start off with. I just wanted to loosen the screws off a bit to be able to get the Phillips head on that. What we need to do to start off with is remove all the little screws around the outside. Now, to put this into context, I have not removed this card at all. So I'm still a bit umming and ahhing. I'm not sure whether I'm meant to remove the top bit first, like all these screws, because I think these ones actually might be for the black heatsink, because the black heatsink is separate. So in fact, I'll tell you what I am going to do. I am going to remove those little babies first. So I'm going to go over to my magic drawer of super duper bits. I am actually behind you at the moment, going through my toolbox. Let's see what size we are. No, that's too big. Let's hope it's 2.5. Oh yeah! Right. Right, so we'll see first. Like I said, this is me. NVIDIA don't give you a guide for taking it apart, so I'm just kind of making this up as we go along. Now, all I'm doing with the screwdriver thing is using that to keep my screws in. With the lovely way these threads are, I think I have gone about this the right way to start off with. I don't want that shot, so we'll move this. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. We need some lovely music. Boo-boo-boo-boo. Wop, 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 wop. Do-do-do-do-do. Ooh, I can feel it getting loose. Now it feels like an Essex hooker. Right. So we turn it on its side. I'm just going to remove everything that I can do, because like I said, I really haven't got a Scooby. Now this little puppy is meant to come apart, because what I want to do is I want to show you the top bit first. I don't want to just take the whole lot, including the CPU and GPU bit of the heatsink off. I want to take the shroud off first, because if we do that, I can show you the vapor chamber bit. And right, so that one. Now I wonder if I'm going to have to remove the tiny ones off the top from around the... Oh, hello. Well, that's very separate. I'll take it off anyway. La 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 la. See, that quite literally is just a metal bit on the side, but well, we've done it anyway. I don't know whether I'm going to have to remove these now. No, that's definitely part of the black bit. Oh, we've got more screws in the back. They're tiny as well. Like uber tiny. Let me go and see if I can find some even smaller Allen keys. Oh yes, thank you very much, Corsair. This is actually the tool that came for removing my Dominator Platinum heat sinks. But these are all very purposeful threads. Are we even remotely there yet? I don't think we are. This would be so much easier if I was just putting a water block on, because I could have just taken this all off. What I'm trying to do is get at the shroud so I can show you the fan and the heatsink underneath. So I'm just trying to take the metal top off really, and this is literally just so I can show you that before removing the main heatsink and the the FET coolers and everything, so I can show you everything else. But it's so well put together. Something I really can't stress enough about this is it's just bloody bomb proof. Where's my little latchy thing? There we go. Oh, getting shot, Tom. Right, there's another bit off. It'd be handy if I had a guide on how to have done this, but I honestly don't have a clue. Right, I'm going to try these two. See if it makes things any easier. One of the good bits about doing the video like this is you can see me trying to work it out as you would have to. I will be doing a water block fitting guide at a later date, which this will be invaluable for me personally then. Oh. Oh, there we go, look. It's off. It was 2 screws at the front. Right, so now, because that's gone like that, it's making me think that... Oh no. This thing is so well put together, it's unreal. I mean, I've literally just taken that shroud bit off, so we can see now inside the heatsink area, and I will get down and dirty and show you the what will I show you? I will show you the vapor chamber in a bit, but I really cannot emphasize how well this thing is put together. Let me get my baby Phillips. As you can see, I'm taking the baby Phillips's just now. Oh my god, the video is 15 minutes long already. I've got a bit of a fetish, I will admit, when it comes to new graphics cards. I love taking them apart. When I first got the original Aries, I had 2 of them, and I took one apart straight away. I've done the Mars 2, 590s, 690s. It's just a graphics card, really, at the end of the day. Being an engineer helps. You just put things back together and oh, there we go. It's all. Right, so just unclipping that bit. There are wires, because if you have a look up here, you can see it's the wires for the GPU LED. Actually, I'm just going to lay that over on that side to save me time when I have to put it back together in a minute. Oh, actually, no, I'll just do it. Come on, my little beauty. It's so difficult to get to, isn't it? No, it's not going to give up its goods. Oh, there we go. Right. So that was the bit we were trying to get off. So now we've got this into quite a few different parts, as you can see. I mean, the fact that they've, on the clear window, look, the fact that they've put brass inserts in it, from an engineer's point of view, it's just like, yeah, all right, they know what they're doing. And it's not because it's added structural rigidity, it's just the fact that they've done it so it looks nice, which is quite crazy. The reason why I couldn't get the back off is there's 2 more screws, so we will take that off. Oh. And there's the other bit there, so we'll line all these bits up so that you can get an idea on where it all should be. There we go. So now, this is kind of the final point that we can get to, really, before taking the main kind of GPU heatsink off, and then all the black bit is like cooling for the RAM and the MOSFETs and stuff. But what I need to do now is, because obviously I've got a written review to think about as well, so I'm just going to stop the camera just briefly so I can take some photos of it like this, so that I have some stuff for the written review on OC3D. Link will be underneath. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and I'll remove all the rest, but we'll take the GPU heatsink off first. I'll show you the vapor chamber, and then we'll take all the rest of the heatsink off, and then we'll get down to the down and dirty, just the proper nerd porn side of it. Okay then peeps, so we're back. I've taken my photos. The next thing I want to do is remove this big block of heatsink. Now, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that I should be able to remove it just by removing the 4 main heatsink screws. I'm just not so sure whether this thing has got so many extra screws on it. I think all of the smaller screws would generally be for the black part of the heatsink, but until we get here, oh no, it's come straight off. Look, see, you can see it's fallen off already. So we can see underneath there the heatsink. Now you can see quite easily the vapor chamber part of this, which is the raised sections, and it does have fluid in it, and the idea is it vaporizes, gets to the top, and then it condenses and falls back down again, and it's just like a bit like clouds, you know, the weather, that type of thing, that type of evaporation kind of process, and it does help dissipate the heat quicker. And we know, you know, how well the vapor chambers have worked in the past. Something I will say though is generally with NVIDIA stuff, we have a massive heatsink, and it's all one big bit of GPU. And if you have a look, you can see that we're going direct onto the core in the middle here. And I think this might be part of the ways that they've managed to keep the heat slightly down. It's been a long time with an NVIDIA GPU that we've actually seen the core in the middle exposed like that. It's quite a new one, really. Quite a new one. It's, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, so looking at the heatsink itself. So that's that. And what we're going to do is just to show you the way I do the thermal paste. If you put tin cleaner on that now, it will generally spread out everywhere, and you'll end up with grey everywhere. I normally take the worst off to start off with like that, and now I would use tin cleaner on that afterwards, so you've got the worst of it off. Same with the core. Now with the core, this is one of the reasons why I say always use non-conductive. If you've got a lot of electrical points or metal points around the outside, and you don't want those absolutely covered in crap. Get a clean bit of my cloth, and I'll move it up that way so you can see a bit better. Now, to be fair, we've got pretty much all the thermal paste off without really having to use tin cleaner, but the tin cleaner just gets it that final bit clean. Now I'm going to try and get a photo of the GK110 bit. There we go, look, you can see the core. So I'm now going to just stop the camera quickly, try and get another picture of this just so that I've got it. In fact, let's do it with you on the camera. I use a Sony A350. I've had it since the Manshed days. With this core, I could really do with a macro lens, to be honest, because it's going to be very difficult for me to believe it or not, my camera is focusing on the reflection in the roof. Yeah, look, I'll show you. It's actually focused on the reflection of the core, of the roof in the core. You can see all the wrinkles there. Trying to get it to actually see the text is going to be a nightmare. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but anyway. I'm going to just take a picture quick. Right, that'll do. Nice and clear. Right, so the next thing is for us to remove this black segment, which is another large heatsink area. I'm assuming that this end all comes off together. I can't see any extra screws there really. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all the little screws right the way around the outside, just so that we can get down to the nitty gritty bit. I'll tell you what I am going to do first. I want to remember. You need to remember these two on the top. It's not really a great thing trying to do this while hugging a tripod, which is effectively what I'm doing. Come around here. I keep knocking the tripod because I'm putting my hands through in the middle of it. This arm is actually through the middle of my tripod. Anyway, right. I'm going to keep all these screws separate because I have got to try and put this bloody thing back together. The 4 screws here around the outside I'm going to leave for the time being, because I think that's just holding this silver metal section on around the core, but I don't know 100%, because actually no, I'm going to retract that statement because I can see the threads have come through. Oh dear. Anyway, this is one of the joyous bits about you getting to watch me taking a graphics card completely to bits. Is you also get to see me learning how to take it apart. This will all become very handy when we do our water clock fitting guide, and I will have previously done it. I'm also very much aware at this present moment in time that my camera battery light has started flashing because I've done all of the videoing on one charge, and I've got this horrible feeling it's going to let go in a minute. And by let go I mean run out. So I'm trying to get this done real quick. If it does cut out, you can all laugh, and I'll have to let it charge while I finish it off, which I really don't want to do because I want to get these videos rendered. It's now 20 to 7 in the evening and I wanted to get everything up tonight. The written review's still not live because I need these photos for it. So looking round before I start tugging. Yeah, certainly appears like it. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, there is another one. There's one there. Crikey. Come on, Thomas, this isn't your first rodeo. You should have looked for them. Right, now let's have a go. There we go. Aha! There we are. So that's our first look. Now I'm just going to move all these RAM tin pads straight away because that'll look better when I take photos. I'm going to remove the fan power, put that out the way, and while we've still got some video battery power, I'm going to zoom you in and give you a good look at this. So there we go. That's it. It's actually pretty basic when you think about it. I've seen some GPUs before with a lot more going on than that. I mean, a lot more going on. So it just goes to show you how well they have done. The design's all pretty clean. Obviously going to be really easy for water cooling. Let's just double check up near the power. So we're up here. This doesn't appear to have any thermal contact. So this obviously doesn't get hot. These, and these. No, it's these, and these little ones do. These larger ones don't. We've got the RAM around the outside on that side, which have all got thermal pads, but the ones on the back don't, which was something I was saying before about a back plate. But that's it. That is your naked GTX Titan. Now, like I said, all my camera's flashing like an absolute idiot now. I need to take some more photos of this, so I've got it for the written review. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this segment of the video here. If you're watching this in the main part of the review, then obviously you're going to be going on to the testing and benchmarking and overclocking now. If you're watching this in the broken up segments of the videos, make sure you go and find the main review because there's lots and lots and lots going on there. It's pretty much a feature length. But without further ado, I'm going to love you and leave you and move on with the next bit.